Hello there, it's me again. I'd like to kind of share with you a recent acquisition that I received. It's the Maggard MR6 razor. This razor was $15.95 at Maggard's. It's the heaviest razor that they sell at 114 grams, and it's probably the heaviest DE that I have ever held in my hands. I could put this in my fist and hit you with it, and it would hurt, trust me. This thing could be a weapon, it's so heavy. But this is a beautiful razor. I've heard some things on the forums, or read rather, about this razor. They're mostly good. The only negative that I have ever heard about this razor was that the plating was not all that great. I really don't see an issue with the plating on this razor. It's beautifully plated. I mean, look for yourself. There's not a flaw, not a blemish, nothing on this razor. It's beautiful. I don't even see any scratches. Now, if you take it apart, and I've already looked at it closely, so all of this is first-hand experience. I examined this razor well before this review. And if you look, if you really want to get picky, you keep in mind this razor costs $16. Okay, but if you really want to get picky, the underside of this cap is not polished, but look at it. There's no big bumps, or it doesn't look like sandpaper. It's nice and smooth. It's just not highly polished. There are no breaks or no voids or anything that I can see. Same with this. They did a cursory polish of that head, but it's not polished out to, you know, a high polish underneath there. But there are no, the holes are nice and clean, front and back. I mean, for $16, that's a little bit of, let me wipe that off. Had a little bit of oil on there, and it looked like the plating had peeled where the handle screwed in. That's just a little oil that I put on the razor earlier, because that's a joint, so I want a little lubrication in it. But I mean, nice and clean. In my opinion, a really nice, well-constructed razor. I think, you know, I've seen reviews online for the Mula and the Mercure and the Edwin Jagger line of razors, and yeah, they are more finely polished in those spots underneath the cap and all that. Some of them, I know the Edwin Jagger is, but it's not, you know, and I think you can get a DE89 for like 30 or 35 bucks. So half of what a DE89 costs, or roughly, you can get this razor. And to me, the workmanship is not so different that I would pay $15 or $20 more for an Edwin Jagger. I mean, not to say I have one of those instead of one of these. Now, there may come a time in the future when I want a DE89, an Edwin Jagger, and I'll buy it. But it ain't because I think there's anything wrong with this thing. This is a wonderful razor. And let's load up a blade. I'm going to use an Astra SP. Now, I had here it is. I have one that I have one shave on. And that's what I'm going to use. And so we're going to go ahead and load this up. With the Astra SP. And when I get close to then I'm gonna make sure that I have the blade lined up, and if you look, blade's lined up there nice and clean and straight. I didn't have that big of a trouble lining it up. I took a little bit of care and it's ready to go. I'd like to say a couple words about Maggard's. First of all, really cool business card. I like that. That's awesome. But also, I mean, the customer service at Maggard's is awesome so far, what I have experienced. I ordered this razor at 10:30 or 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. Or, I'm sorry, a Friday night. 5 minutes after I placed an order for this razor, Casey, C-A-S-I-E, I think spells Casey. I think Cassie would be spelled C-A-S-S-I-E. So, Cassie, or Casey, if I'm wrong, Cassie, correct me. But I believe her name is Casey. Anyway, she sent me an email 5 minutes after I placed this order. And it was, you know, it wasn't a form email or an automated email, or at least it didn't sound like one. She wrote, "Hi, Mike. Thanks for your order. I will send it out tomorrow and get you a tracking number as soon as possible. Thanks for doing business with us." Something like that. Casey. You know, a personal touch there. I commend her for that. That's number one. So immediately they were on it. I didn't wait a day to get the email saying, "Hey, I guess what, I saw you placed an order and we're doing the best we can." Immediately she came on and said, "Look, I'll place the order tomorrow. I'll pack the order tomorrow and ship it out." Okay, so that was on a Friday night, 10:30, 11 o'clock, like I said. Monday morning rolls around. At 20 minutes after 10, I've got it in my mailbox. Really hard to beat that kind of service. And I am more than happy with the service that I received from Maggard Razors. There is a lot of companies out there competing for our dollars, and I'm going to frequent the ones that offer me stellar service. Maggard Razors are going to be one of them, and I would encourage you, if you've not shopped with Maggard before, if you are looking for brushes, razors, or anything else, soaps, aftershaves, or anything else involved in this thing that we're doing, Maggard Razors deserves a shot at your business because they are a top-notch company from what I have experienced. The product is better than advertised, in my opinion. This razor is 100% better than what was advertised, and I'm very happy with it. So let's shave with it and see how it feels. I'm going to use some Coloniali Mango Oil soap. I've had it soaking with some water, and my Semogue 1438 bore brush. Let's get working on some lather. Now, I already took a hot shower, so I don't need to worry about prep. My prep is done. That hot shower did the job just fine. Okay. I'm going to pour the water out of my lather bowl. That's where I've been soaking my brush. And I'm going to take this soap out of the bowl and soak up all that goodness that's in the bottom of that bowl. Then I'll pop it right back in and set it off to the side. This soap, when you get it on your hands, is super slick and just difficult sometimes to get off of your hands. So let's lather up. A little bit of water. I'm interested to try this razor. It is supposed to be, I think, I can't really get a straight answer. It depends on which thread you follow. I probably could have emailed Maggard Razors and got a straight answer from them on it. But on the shave forums, you either get guys that say, well, this is a copy of the Evan Jagger 89, or you get people that say, well, it looks to me like a Mercury head. I think depending on the year, I think the early ones might have been more of an Evan Jagger. There's a cream. And then these later ones, Mercury, I don't know. I know it's not fat underneath like the Evan Jagger if you look at it. That's shaped, I guess, more like the Mercury. Here on the bottom. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just kind of chatting about it while I'm making shave soap. So let's get some water on my face. Don't need much. And start with the lather. I love this soap. I love the scent of this soap. But the part of this soap that really makes it special, at least to me, is the slickness of this soap. This stuff It's just, and to me it looks like it's got a shiny quality to it, like a highly sugared meringue. You know, just a wonderful lather. I like the way the razor seems to be cutting. It's not hard to find the angle. The blade is, you can feel the blade against your face fairly easily. I like that. Also, quite like the weight of this razor. One of the reasons that I bought it, if I haven't mentioned already, was that it was the heaviest razor that Maggard listed. In their lineup, and I quite like heavy razors. You don't have to muck around with them. Most DE razors, you shouldn't use any kind of real pressure anyway. But with a heavier razor, that's doubly so. It's not necessary, and the razor the weight of the razor gives you all that you need. And so, pass number 2. I like a heavy razor. I would not want all my razors as heavy as this one. This one is on the border, in my opinion, of almost being too heavy. But it's what I wanted, was a really heavyweight razor, and it's Maggard's delivered big time on that. It's a very audible razor. You can hear the blade quite well. Another thing that I like about it is it's got good blade exposure. I would not call this a mild razor. It's not highly aggressive, but it's definitely more aggressive than my Lady Gillette. Whatever that means to you. Uh, I would call it mildly aggressive. I wouldn't call it mild, but it is slightly aggressive, but not so aggressive that you would have to worry about it wearing out your face or anything like that. Another thing that I like about it is that there seems to be enough gap in the bottom of the blade, between the bottom of the blade and the safety bar itself, that the lather doesn't impede the progress of the blade. You know, there are sometimes my Lady Gillette, if I fill the head of that razor up with lather, I can't feel the blade at all. You know, I have to rinse it because I can't even tell whether it's cutting my whiskers or not. With this, even if you get a lot of lather up under here, and if you've been paying attention, there were some fat gobs of lather up under here when I was shaving, I could still feel the blade on my face, and I could still feel it cutting the whiskers. So there's enough gap. I know my camera won't pick it up. This is a laptop camera, so that's not going to happen. But there's enough gap. Maybe. If you see, there's enough gap under that blade between that and this bar so that even if the thing fills it with lather, like that, it's still cutting. Still cutting my whiskers. That's a good thing. To me, it means that the razor was designed very well. So, you could do a lot worse than one of these razors and spend a lot more money doing it. Nice, clean, smooth shave. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So I'm going to follow that up with some Old Spice, Procter & Gamble Old Spice. Okay, a bit of burn here, and a bit here, and a bit here. Now, I always have burn here, sometimes here, but always here. But I usually never get burned here, so in my opinion, the razor's more aggressive than my Lady Gillette or the Microtouch one that I use, and so I'd have to say that it's more aggressive, but it shaves very smoothly, it shaves very well, it gives me a good shave, it's made extremely well. If you stamp Mercure on that, people would buy it all day long and wouldn't think twice about paying $40 for it, probably. But, you know, these are my opinions. I think this is a really, really good buy. I think if you're looking for a double-edged razor, if you're a beginner and trying to get into this, or if you're an experienced wet shaver and for some reason you need an inexpensive double edge, that's a high quality razor for $16 and $5 shipping, something like that. I think it was $21.95 altogether is what I spent on it. So yeah, that's $5 shipping. So I mean, came in a flat rate box. So yeah, $5 shipping. $21.95. And that's a high quality razor. They have several in the $15.95 price range and some in $19.95. And I think there's even one for $21.95 if I'm not mistaken. But all of them would be high quality. They all use the same head. There's just differences in the handle, the thickness, the length, the weight, all of that, the knurling, the design, you know. And I can tell you right now that I'll be getting at least 2 or 3 more Maggard razors with different designs because I like the head, I like the way it shaves, I like the way it's designed, and I want it on several different handles. Why? Because they're cheap to buy, and I can have a variety of really cool looking and handling razors for not very much cash. And to me, that's a win-win. So if you're on the fence, if you've looked at these razors and you've thought, I wonder how good they are good, really good. And if you're thinking about purchasing one, stop thinking and just do it because they are that good, I think. Once again, Maggard Razors Maggard MR6 heavyweight, shaves really nice and smooth, well plated, well put together, mildly aggressive or aggressively mild, however you want to put it, but it's not super mild, and it's not super aggressive. I think it rides a line between the two that is probably, for me, would be just about the perfect design to shave with. And so I'm going to buy a few more of those. Once again, thanks for joining me. I hope that this review has kind of introduced you to the razor and helped you to decide. You know, I can also offer one other opinion, and that is that in a day and age where there are literally dozens, maybe even hundreds of vendors out there that are catering to wet shavers now. They all want your money. Deal with the kind of ones that give you a personal touch, the kind of ones that have really high quality service, the kind of ones that answer your emails and your questions and are patient, and you know, that to me describes Maggard Razors to a T. Just a wonderful Brad and Casey Maggard have a wonderful business. And if you're looking, let me wipe that water off. If you're looking for shave stuff of any kind, whether it's soaps, razors, blades, brushes, aftershaves, or anything else in this that we do, they sell it all. Brad restores straight razors, all kind of things, all kind of services. Two wonderful people, excellent business model. I would encourage you to frequent their establishment and recommend their products, the razors and everything else. So God bless you, and I will see you on the shave forums.